Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're here with my fellow co-hosts on our first ever podcast, the NC Foodie Boys. We have some great topics today we're going to get into, chop it up a little bit with, I would say, a local legend here in North Davidson District. Ultimately, somebody who knows what they're doing, knows what they been around the block. Here are my co-hosts,
Cooper Barrier
and Aiden Sanders.
And our special guest for the morning here. We have a guy's name's Dylan Reagan. If you please come on stage. Everybody give him a round of applause. When I say local legend, I mean local legend.
But before you begin, Reagan, please just talk into this. This is your microphone. Just talk right there. Please talk right there.
Yeah, it's a custom
It's
model.
It's a Bluetooth microphone, custom.
Is
I
it
have one
really?
more gift for you too before we begin, Reagan. Here you go.
Thank you. One.
Just for you.
One.
Just for you.
Thank you.
No, take it. Have
Have it now? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's nothing.
Oh,
What?
there's nothing there.
How'd that happen? I'm sorry,
Reagan.
Reagan. I'm
How
really
did
sorry.
that happen?
Forgive me, Reagan. Forgive me.
Honestly, it's the thought that counts, really.
Yeah, I can take it back.
Yeah.
Here, it's good.
All right, diving into the podcast, just tell us a little bit about yourself, Reagan. First of all, what's your name?
Well, my name's Dylan Reagan.
Dylan Reagan. How old are you, Dylan Reagan?
I am 26 years old.
26 years old, and you're a teacher, correct?
I am a teacher.
Teacher, what school?
North Davidson High School.
North Davidson High School.
I think the best high school in all of
Best high
Davidson
school.
County.
Absolutely.
In my opinion, all of the state, but I'm
Yeah,
biased.
that's a pretty hefty thing
So
to
what
say.
do you
Nice.
teach? What's your expertise?
My expertise is social studies, but I'm more specifically in the realm of American history.
That's pretty much what we're talking about today, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, for the most part.
Sweet.
You're an
Yeah.
expert. You should
Yeah.
be good. You're fit for the day.
Absolutely.
I think you got it.
And then one more. What got you into teaching? What's something that really drove you into this passionate field of work?
Well, I wanted my career to revolve around something I love, and that was history. I was very passionate about history, and I also really enjoyed high school. So that
Right.
high school environment I wanted to return to, I wanted to come back to. And it's been a blast so far, these past 4 years that I've been teaching. And yeah, I'm going to make a career out of it.
Absolutely. And that's something you see yourself doing 10 years down the road, 20
Oh, yeah,
years down the
10,
road?
20, however long till retirement.
Absolutely. Well, coincidentally, we have our topic is kind of based around a little bit of the teaching part, so we're going to dive right into that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. We'll go first. So power scaling, which is not our topic,
Okay.
but it's what I'm kind of calling it to, relating to. When you take two people and you put them up against each other in a fight, who would win?
Okay.
You know, you've
Mhm.
heard of that before. So what we're doing, you know what this is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's the Bible.
Okay. So
What
we're taking.
translation is that, Reagan? Off the dome.
What?
What translation is that? Just
Oh,
off of the first
can't.
one.
I can't tell. Just
That's okay.
ESV.
It's all good. What would you say all time favorite translation? Would you say? What's your favorite translation?
I don't know. I've used the what was it? I think it's the NIV
Mm-hmm.
version a lot.
That's pretty good.
Classic.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm used to. I haven't really messed around with other translations to see how
Yeah,
they
that's
are
fair,
or
that's
compare.
So what we're going to be doing, taking two characters from the Bible
Mhm.
that have not interacted with each other before,
Okay.
and we're going to ask you who would win if they fought.
Okay.
Okay?
All
So
right.
you prepared to answer this? So for our first question, we have none other than Goliath. You know the story about Goliath?
Right. Go on.
Okay. I'm gonna read a little bit about Goliath. So he was a Philistine champion named Goliath of
Mhm.
Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. He had a helmet of bronze on his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of bronze. And he had bronze armors on his legs, and a javelin of bronze slung between his shoulders. The shaft of the spear was like a weaver's beam, and the spear's head weighed about 600 shekels of iron, and his shield bearer went before him. So that's our first person. Okay, you ready to hear who he's up against?
Uh huh.
And two she-bears came out of the woods and tore 42 of the boys up. So you know the story about Elisha and the bears?
A little bit. It's
I
been a while since
can
I've read.
explain some of it. So
What?
Elisha
Be disrespectful.
Elisha
Stalking.
was the protege to Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
So as Elijah ascended up to heaven, called by God. Elisha took his place, and he's like the head of the prophets now, right? So he goes into this area where a bunch of prophets are, and he's supposed to be the leader now. Like he's in charge now. He's the successor. But all those prophets are like, he's not a real prophet. We don't trust him. He's just trying to take power because there's a power vacuum, So the kids of this area, they're calling him Korah, which would mean bald.
Okay.
So they're making fun of him. They're like,
Yeah, as kids do, you would know.
Oh yeah.
Kids are mean sometimes.
Yeah, they can be.
So they're calling him bald. But what it really means, because the word Korah, okay, so they're calling him bald. Yes, he's bald. But they're also calling him Korah.
Mm-hmm.
If you know from Moses, there's a guy who tried to overthrow Moses and take his position named Korah.
Mm.
So they're also calling him bald, but they're also calling him Korah. So they're saying like, hey, he's like this guy trying to take Moses' power. So Elisha is trying to take Elijah's place as leader. So to protect his anointed, God sends 2 female bears out of the woods, and it eats the people that are like calling him a false prophet.
Okay.
So those are the 2 contenders.
All right. So it's Goliath.
Yes.
Versus 2
Female bears.
female bears.
2.
All right.
2 bears.
2 bears.
Not just 1, 2 bears.
2 bears.
Make
All
sure
right.
you keep that in
Do we
mind.
know the size of these bears?
I do.
Good question.
So these bears,
He's a teacher, guys. He knows how to ask the right questions.
they are likely the now extinct Syrian brown bears,
Okay.
and they can weigh up to 550 pounds. And they are 40 to 45 inches from nose to tail, which means they're medium sized.
Mm-hmm. All right. Medium size.
Also,
500 pounds.
Goliath, here's what we have about his height is a little loosey-goosey.
Okay.
Because we have older manuscripts saying that his height was 4 cubits in the span, which was really 6 feet 9 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the Masoretic text, which is 6 cubits in the span, 9 feet 9 inches, but the older text says 6 feet 9 inches. So his height was probably, like you like a kid on the playground. Like I beat the big kid up. He's like probably 7 feet tall.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. It's 2 bears.
Yeah.
Does Goliath have any weapons whatsoever?
Yes. He has all of his armor. And
All
gear.
of his armor, all his gear.
2 for 2 on the questions.
Ooh.
He really has experience with the questions, huh?
I don't know. I feel like
Well, first of all, let's set the scene. Let's figure out what's the advantages of Goliath. What exactly would
Yeah, let's pros and cons. What do we think?
all right. So Goliath, he's got his armor. He's got his weapon.
Yeah.
He has swords, too.
Yeah, sword.
His armor was probably 125 pounds, by the
Okay,
way.
125 pounds. Is it thick, thin?
It's a heavy bronze.
heavy
coated
bronze.
metal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, does it cover his entire body, or is there some parts?
I
of his
mean, there's
body
some parts not
exposed?
covered, but he even has like shin guards almost,
Oh, okay.
bronze sleeves, and
Okay.
But the bears, there's 2 of them.
There are 2 of them, but he's got weapons and he's got heavy armor.
okay. So you're saying
So
Goliath? would
I'm
take
thinking Goliath would win. He would, at the very least, get at least a good blow against at least one of the bears.
Yeah.
Now, if both bears come at him at the same time, they may be able to knock him down, knock him off his feet, and that would be harder to fight off.
this. Okay, so I would argue the bears are kind of like a divine judgment from God, though. So do you think that Goliath
True.
was beating like
True.
these are God's bears?
And I feel like if David can take on Goliath, if 2 bears.
But David had a gun, like a sling.
Well,
You
he
seen
did
those
have a
things?
sling, yeah, but it was still divine in a sense.
Yeah, but like
David
those
being
things
able
are
to
like
take on
that would
Goliath.
be like pulling out a gun in a knife fight,
Yeah.
I
Good
can
point.
see that. Good point, yeah.
So you had to pick one, just off like the top of your head.
So,
What you heard so
so
far?
the bears kind of have like inspiration from God, because ultimately
So if the
they're
bears
immortal.
are divine, if they're sent by...
Well, we're not saying they're divine.
Okay.
In this
This
context,
is
they
a
are.
hypothetical.
But
So
like,
in that
so they
context-
could be from God, or they couldn't
Okay.
be.
Okay.
So like, it could be these bears like
Uh,
after God used them for the other scenario, or before.
Well,
or-
I think then it all
Yeah.
depends on, are they being sent by God to take on Goliath? If they're just, Goliath is walking throughout the wilderness and comes across these 2 female bears, and it's like God has no really like purpose in that or intention in that, then I think Goliath could probably take on
Well,
the
let's
bears.
see.
Okay.
But I feel like if they're sent
I would
by
argue-
God,
I would argue-
God's
But
divinity
there's
is
two bears
behind
though,
it.
Reagan.
There's two.
There's two
Does
bears.
it matter if they're female or male? Would you say?
I don't think it
You
matters.
don't think it matters?
Okay, well, Reagan, I would think it would matter.
Unless there's
because
a difference between female and male.
female
bears.
bears are more likely to lash out because they protect their cubs.
I mean, that's true.
Mother bear instinct. Yeah.
That's true.
So what's your decision if you had to?
Is this something you've spoke on in class before, or is this like fresh off the dome? for
This
you?
is fresh
Like,
off the
okay.
dome. I've never been asked this question before in my life.
Okay.
Well,
This
you're
is-
just talking like an expert, Reagan.
this-
Yeah, you ask a lot of good questions.
well, I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
trying to
right.
think. Two bears.
So let's say he's 9 feet 9 inches.
Okay. 9 feet 9 inches. That's pretty darn tall.
Yeah.
How tall? Like the bears themselves. I know we talked about how much they weigh. How much? Like how tall are they?
They're just brown bears,
Okay.
medium size.
Okay. All right.
But there's two of them.
There are two of them.
And Goliath is a Philistine warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Means he's trained.
You could probably
Yeah.
bench
Yeah,
press
they were
550 pounds too, so that weighs in.
Well, guys, this is a tough one.
They only get tougher, Reagan.
Oh
Yeah, this
boy.
is
The,
easy.
the
Easiest
viewers
question.
have to know. The
This
viewers
is
have to
the
know your
easiest
take
one.
on this.
Oh boy.
You're a history buff, no? Would you say?
I mean, for American history, yes,
Yeah.
and for military history specifically.
Oh, then he's a military guy.
As far as
Philistine warrior?
Philistine military history goes, would you
I mean,
say?
I'm not an expert
Okay.
in Philistine military history.
Yeah, I don't know if any of us consider us experts on that topic.
But I don't know. I think it would be a close call, but I still feel like Goliath would come out on
Goliath's being
top
the bear.
because he's got weapons.
He
He's
does
got
have
armor.
Weapons.
And he could bench press probably 550 pounds.
Okay,
at
but
least.
if we go with the alternate approach of 6 feet 9 inches,
That one might be a little bit more difficult for
More
Goliath.
difficult.
Do you think we should factor in like IQ at all? Do we think Goliath's smarter than the bears, or do we think he's about the same IQ level? Because he is a warrior, so we know he's not a scholar. But ultimately, is he smarter than two bears?
I mean, some warriors are intelligent. Battle IQ is very.
Yeah,
Goliath's fate
Battle
proves
But
he
it may
wasn't
not.
very
It may
intelligent.
not come to like intelligence. More or less, just training. How well is he trained? Is like, can he take on two bears? If he's trained to take on, say, an army or an individual or something like that. So at 6 feet 9 inches, I think it would be a little bit more tougher for Goliath. Especially, I'm thinking of if the bears charge at him simultaneously.
Do you think the bears could like link up like that, or
Yeah,
they have
the
the
bears
brain
do
power for
that. Bears do that.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have
if
like
they-
Oh,
connection.
really?
Yeah, it's like.
So the bears have hacks. On
You ever
the
seen
dog.
Bearstein Bears? They like
Oh,
communicate
oh,
well.
okay. Oh,
with
you're right.
family.
Shoot. Oh, and we bear bears too. They communicate good in that show too. And those are different species of bears. So imagine them the same species.
Yeah.
This is a good question. Man. So final
Final answer. If you have.
What would you say to our viewers? What's our definitive answer here? What are you most comfortable with saying?
If you're like life savings depended on it, which
Oh, there's not much of that, but I don't know. I think Goliath could take on the two
Goliath's
bears.
taking Goliath's taking the two bears, and then one definitive reason why would you say?
I think it all comes down to just the fact that he has his armor and he has his weaponry, and I think if you have that, even though the bears, I mean, they're medium sized, they may have some muscle to them. I think if he hits the right areas, I think he'd win. Doesn't mean it would be a walk in the park. He may be knocked down a couple times or injured a little bit, but considering his armor, I think the injuries would be minimal, in my opinion.
what if they went for like the legs and like started gnawing on his legs when he's standing there?
Well, like, does his armor?
Because he's so tall that he's like,
He's a big target,
yeah, he's a big target.
and they say the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So
Well, that's true.
I mean, he does have the nice spear that he can reach him with.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, one plays the sacrifice card, and the other
Right.
counter like flanks in, like,
Right.
when they get him.
Yeah. So if they're like that, if the bears strategize and they come at them, say at two different angles, maybe it's not a head-on charge. If they're like two different angles, like flanks, then yeah, I think. Goodness. I don't know. I think they'd be able to injure him. But I still feel like if he can take one down, the other one comes at him, injures him a little bit,
Right.
he could then swing around and get the other one still.
True, because you could lose a leg and
Yeah.
be okay.
Like they could bite his
Is it
leg.
like a
Have you
mutual
ever lost a leg
destruction?
before?
Well, it depends on how bad the bite is, or the clawing, or whatever the injury is, and where in the leg. The bite mark or the claw mark hits an artery, he could kill the two bears, and then he'll
Sure.
end up bleeding out.
Right. So this draws the line of: are we considering it a draw? Let's say hypothetically he kills the two bears and then bleeds out after, or later he dies from infection from the wound. Is that technically
True.
a draw, or is it
True.
whoever dies first?
Well, I would consider it a draw because it's more like you may have defeated me, but in the long run, I
Right.
defeated you.
You won the battle, but you shouldn't win the war.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
You ready for your second hypothetical, Reagan?
Sure.
Okay, so for
Oh,
this one.
I'm gonna do a little sweet treat because he got.
Oh, yeah,
sweet
okay,
treat.
yes, yes. Before we begin, you get a sweet treat.
Yeah.
Little
Every
pick me
time
up.
you answer a good question, you get a sweet treat.
All right.
Little pick me up this morning. But while we do that, tell us a little bit more about. You said you went to High Point University. I'm pretty sure you said.
I did go to High Point University.
Tell us a little bit about your experience at High Point University. What really drew you to that area?
These brownies are
You can only have one.
normal brownies. Right?
Yes, they are.
Okay. All right.
Whoa, Reagan.
Whoa.
Reagan, you're on a Bible
You
podcast.
disappointed?
Yeah.
No. I just
What
wanted to
other
make sure.
brownie would you have wanted?
Must have been a party animal.
And you
know.
can there's water to wash it down if you want.
Yeah, we have a sip of water for you.
Thank
It's
you.
not too much. It's probably about a couple, like 15 ounces.
Well,
in there
yeah, just
about.
tell us a little bit about High Point University. What was so special about that?
Well, really, it was the campus. Just how the campus was laid out.
Yeah.
How small it was. I didn't want this massive college
Right.
with this massive campus where I had to take a shuttle to get to a class. It was also very local. I could commute,
Yeah.
and commuting takes a lot off of the tuition. So that's primarily the reason why I looked at High Point University and was enamored with it, because of its proximity to where I live, and it was a beautiful campus. And because of that, almost like small town
Right.
feel, it just felt like everyone knew each other, everyone was friendly.
Right.
You got to know your professors well, because class sizes were usually like high school
Right.
range in the 30s, sometimes below 30. Well, I'm trying to think of if I had a class above 30. I don't think I did. There were
No, yeah, go
th-
ahead.
there were
Go
arenas,
ahead.
like classrooms, I should say, that could house more than 30, obviously. But I don't think I had a class over 30.
So what would you say, as far as your freshman schedule, obviously all three of us were freshmen
Mhm.
in college. What would you say was your schedule freshman year of college at High Point? What were your classes?
Well,
That's too personal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you feel uncomfortable answering
no.
that's okay.
So let's see. God, it feels like so long ago. I do remember we had to have this presidential seminar. I forgot if it was only fall or spring semester. I think it was during the fall semester, where the president of the university, it would essentially be like this pep talk type of thing. And I think that's the only class.
Yeah, Reagan's.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's the only class where we had more than 30, because you had like a lot of freshmen in that arena. So I would say like 80 people would be in there at least. And he would talk about the different things like life skills and things like that. And so it wasn't necessarily we took notes or anything. It was just we're there, we mark that we're present, and then
Yeah.
we get credit for it at the end of the semester. There was this one class, speaking of American history, y'all know how much I love American
Right,
history.
right.
We had this American expansions class my freshman year, and that went essentially from the beginning of America, so the foundations of America, all
Yeah.
the way up until I think the Cold War, World War II or the Cold War.
Okay.
So that class I really enjoyed because I loved that period
Yeah.
of American history.
Don't like it. Don't like it.
So another class I had to have freshman year was it pertained to my major. Now that history one pertained to my major because I majored in history, but I also it was like a double major in education as well because I already knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a
Right. So you were dead set coming into college.
oh yeah, high school history teacher. So one of my education classes was more or less a seminar called what was it called? I can't remember the name of it, but it had to deal with hunger and hunger in students, looking at what's called food deserts in High Point, in the High Point area, and how that impacts not just individuals but kids, students in school. And so let's see, another class I had. This anthropology class. Okay.
I have that too.
I really enjoyed that one.
I have Christian anthropology.
Christian anthropology. Okay. And how is that going?
He's trying to play right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really quick. This is a super personal question, but okay. If you don't feel comfortable answering this, it's completely okay. But super personal, just to warn you. How long was your drive to college each day?
25 minutes.
What's your address?
And if I'm not mistaken, Reagan, you have a degree in gender studies? No?
No.
No, gender
I'm
studies.
sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
What was your degree? And you said double major.
History.
History.
And I essentially just added a high school grades teaching license
Okay.
to that.
So what edge would you say the double major gave you coming into the high school workforce?
Well, being as I majored in history, I knew my subject well.
Okay.
And I think for high school grades and even middle school grades, if you have a major in the subject you're teaching, that's really all you really need. But the education side of it showed that I'm familiar with education. I'm familiar with the classroom. When I did my student teaching, I've taught in the classroom before, so I had some experience, I guess you could say, in the classroom, and so that benefit to a principal trying to hire someone, that would look good as well.
Reagan, are you ready for your next question?
Yeah.
Break?
All right.
Is your mind
So for the
ready?
second hypothetical, we're going all the way back to Genesis, all right?
Oh boy.
So this is a pretty popular Bible story, the story of Noah. You know the story of Noah, right? In the ark.
Yeah.
Or in the ark. We know the background. The world's evil, lots of bad people, so God decides he's going to flood the earth to try to cleanse it, right? And he tells Noah to build an ark.
Mm-hmm.
So what's important to note with this story is that while these newer translations call it cypress wood and say he built it out of cypress wood, that's not in fact how it went down. In the older Hebrew, it was the word was gopher wood, but nobody really knows exactly what that correlates to in modern day times. So the most common depiction is cypress wood. There's other ideas like cedar wood, but cypress wood lines up well with modern ancient shipmaking traditions. So that's why they go with that one. And then if you don't know, cypress wood is a lightweight type of wood. It has very good structural integrity once it's put together.
Okay.
All right, so that's excuse me, that's your first contestant. And for this next one, we're going
the ark.
Yeah, the ark, and everybody on it. Okay, keep that in mind. Everybody on it. And then for this next one, we're going a little bit further in the Old Testament, but sticking similar to the idea of water, and we have the story of Jonah.
Yes.
And the big fish.
Yes.
Right?
What is this big fish?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what the big fish is.
What would you say it is?
Well,
you have to guess.
I think when I was growing up, it was always, I guess, thought that it was a whale, maybe.
It's a good intuition because though it says big fish in the Old Testament, the word means fish that they're using. When Jesus speaks about it later on in Matthew, he uses the Greek word ketos.
What does that
I don't
mean?
know if that's correctly pronounced,
no idea what ketos
but it's a word that means sea monster or whale are the two common translations of ketos.
Okay.
And so in order to get an idea of what this creature was that swallowed up Jonah, we have to look at the Mediterranean Sea at the time. And then in modern history, there's only two animals or two sea creatures in the Mediterranean Sea that have been known to be able to eat humans. Those being the white shark and the cachalot or the sperm whale.
Okay.
You know what a sperm whale is, right?
Yeah.
Just in case you're not sure, here's a video I found, a live footage of a sperm whale.
Viewers, let us know in the comments what would you think.
See,
of
it
this
says
video.
live footage. This is
Live
real.
footage,
This is
okay.
real, by the way.
All right.
See, look, he fights the
Wow,
big
look at
squids.
that.
They hunt the big
Look at
squids,
that.
right?
That is.
Wow.
Look, he ate it, and he's happy after he ate it, right? And if you didn't notice, that's live footage, right? So
Yes.
that's real.
Yes.
So that's what they're like.
Yeah. First impression on that video, what would you say? Because they give you an indication of who's winning, or it just kind of sets the scene.
So
I mean,
is
this well
well-
can take down squids, the giant squids.
okay. So
Yeah.
the situation is.
Well, wait. Before you get to that, we narrowed it down. We narrowed it down to the sperm whale,
Uh-huh.
considering that Jesus used the term whale to describe this creature. And
Okay.
since that's a common whale in the area that is known to be able to eat people, that's the logical conclusion to draw, right?
Okay.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
you say?
Yeah.
If you have a counter argument, you can bring it up of what you think it might be.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, no. I think I would agree with the whale, specifically the sperm whale.
Yeah. So if you had to pick one, the ark
Mm-hmm.
or the whale, if they got into a fight, like say Noah's just going on the ark, right? It's the world's flooded,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden the sperm whale comes up. Who do you think would win that fight if he started attacking the ark?
Now with the ark, you said it's lightweight. Cypress wood.
This is lightweight, but it's very
But it's-
structurally.
It has
It's
every
strong.
has two of every animal though. Think
It's-
about that as well.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's
all right.
lightweight, so it's good for floating, but it is structurally strong.
It's a lot of weight
But
in
if it
animals.
were to take blows by a heavy object,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
would the cypress wood give way or would it hold up?
That's for you to
Alright.
decide. It's a part of the hypothetical.
Well, let's think that this is in the water though.
They are in the water.
So it's not going to be as heavy.
I will
as
say
if it
the
were on
the
land.
boat,
True.
the ark has a secret
It
advantage.
does, but we'll get to that.
We'll get
if
to
we
that
need
later.
Okay. Okay. Now, the ark compared to the well, size-wise, like how big are we?
The ark, we know the ark's very big, right?
Yes.
And then sperm whales range in size a lot.
Right.
And we don't know exactly how big this fish would have been that ate Jonah.
Mm-hmm.
We assume that it's a larger one because it is considered a great fish, not
Okay.
just a normal fish or a large fish, a great fish. So that makes me think it'd be a larger than average sperm whale. So
Okay.
it's probably a little bit smaller than the ark if I had to take a stance
Okay.
on it. But it's hard to know. It's impossible to know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's smaller than the ark.
All right. So, given that, I feel like if the cypress wood is structurally sound and it's like once you put it together, it's a strong, decent sized ship. I feel like even if the whale were to like bump up against it as hard as it could, I still feel like it'd probably hold up a bit.
This whale eats squids.
It does eat squids. You saw the video. Look
It
how
does eat
dangerous that is.
squids.
And the squids are just big. Those
But-
things are big.
So if it's continually ramming up against
Have
the
you
ark,
have you watched a
Right.
shark movie before where the shark attacks the boat from all different sides and knocks the people off and then takes it out?
you ever played Hungry Shark Evolution where it eats the boat?
Yeah, that's see.
No, I have not played that. No.
Okay, well, it's a very realistic game. You
Okay.
can play as a shark,
Okay.
and you can take out some pretty big boats as the shark.
Okay.
And this whale is way bigger than any shark in that. So it could possibly beat the ark.
I mean,
Yeah, let's
Possible.
factor this in too.
I would have to know like the strength of the wood
Okay.
if it were to
Here's another one.
hit something or
If
something
we put
hit.
Jonah on the ark, that whale is out to get Jonah.
Right.
Ooh. Yeah, the Jonah could be on the ark in the situation, and we know that the whale was sent by God to get Jonah.
Right.
I mean, if it's sent by God, it's going to achieve God's purpose
But
in one way or
But-
the other.
what if it got splinters? Because cypress wood normally doesn't splinter easily, but however, when it experiences change in humidity, it splinters very easily. And if you think about it, a dry land, lots of rain, that's a little bit of
Right.
humidity difference, right? So what if he got splinters?
And how's it
Then
getting these
what
splinters
happens?
out? So it doesn't have hands.
Well, I mean that's a good
Unless
point.
Jonah teams up with the whale.
He could.
I mean, I guess
hypothetically.
Jonah could team up with the whale, but isn't the whale after Jonah?
Yeah, it is.
Maybe
But-
humidity is.
Maybe Jonah's like
But it didn't end up killing Jonah, did it?
No, it
He
didn't.
stayed
the
alive
Jonah
inside of it.
the
It
Jonah
just swallowed
the,
it.
the whale saved Jonah.
Yeah. Okay.
And one more thing, just final point I want to add to this. Actually, two more points. Sorry. First of all, how does the ark gonna attack back? What do you think? Because it can't really attack back at the
I
moment.
mean,
can it?
there's really no. The ark was made to hold passengers. I don't think, to my recollection, that there's any weapons.
That's where you're wrong, Reagan.
Oh, okay.
What if they drop the lions off to
Now
attack it?
So it's like
Now they have weapons to attack.
lions
back.
are like built for water combat. So
Okay.
when the ark's like moving along,
I was getting ready to
and
ask,
the whale's
would
about
they be able to
launch
So
swim?
the
in,
whale's coming
lion
up,
can
right?
jump.
And then all of a sudden, he just drops the lion off like a missile, kind of, and it hits it, and then attacks the thing. And maybe he takes a little damage, but he survives. Guess what? It's a second lion. Because 2 by 2, they went on the boat, right?
Perhaps. But I still feel like the size of the whale would be enough to where... Yeah, it may hurt the whale, but I don't think it would destroy the whale. Like
What if
defeat
all the
whale.
animals jump on the whale?
Yeah, what
All the
if he just
animals?
said, okay, what if he's like, okay, we're losing this one. The whale's getting us. The splinters aren't doing enough. And then he just lets all the animals out. Elephants, everything.
And his like probably stuff on the boat, like food and stuff. And just start him and his sons can just start throwing the
Yeah.
food at them.
And then if they have to, he can even throw his sons overboard and get them in there. Because they're a little smarter than the whale.
And they can swim.
Do
so
they
can swim pretty
Do they
good.
have weapons on them to...
They can make if they
Harm
made
the
the
whale.
ark.
They
They
can-
can make weapons.
Okay.
Right.
Well, the ark's already splintering, so they just grab a big piece
They
of
grab a
splinter.
piece-
And that's like,
Okay.
that's like a speed race.
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
But here, think about this. Let me flip the script really quick. So we know that this is a very aggressive flood. So there's a lot of rain. There's going to be a strong current upon this flood. So let's say
Right.
hypothetically, which one's bigger? You know, the ark is probably bigger than the
Yeah.
sperm whale. Which one is going to be more resistant to the current and the waves? Is it going to be a whale or is it going to be a giant ship?
Well, I feel like the whale, because it has... I don't know, it lives in the water, so it probably swims up against currents all the time. So I think it would have more experience in doing that.
Okay.
And it has a conscious ability to swim against... Whereas the ark is an inanimate object. It flows with with the current. It has no mechanism to fight against the current.
But Reagan, God specifically gave him instructions to make the ark. Don't you think he would have accounted for the current when he told him how to make the ark?
Ooh.
I mean, perhaps, but at least to my recollection, from what I know from the story, I don't think the purpose of it was to go against the current in any way. I think it was just to be able to float, and then eventually, when the waters recede, it lands somewhere. So, I don't know if it would have been made to resist the
Right.
current.
Here's also a thing. Would you say sperm whale has echolocation or no?
Well, I'm no expert on
Okay.
sperm whale, so I don't know if it has echolocation or not. I would have to
Yeah,
look that
chat.
up.
Leave comments down below. Do sperm whales have echolocation?
Type 1 in the chat if they do, 2 if they don't, and then 3 if you're confused by the question.
Let's
This is
just
being live
let's just
streamed, by the way.
hypothetically, let's say the sperm whale does in fact have echolocation. Does that apply an advantage to the situation, or is that a disadvantage?
I mean, I think it would always, if it had an echolocation, it would always know where the ark would be.
Right.
I'm seeing a lot of 2s in the chat, Reagan, so I don't think they have
Right.
echolocation.
I don't think. They
Okay. Okay.
Because here's
Oh,
the
there's a
thing.
couple 3s in there too.
Couple
So
3s.
I don't see any 1s though.
Because here's the thing. Let's put it in. Let's set the scene. There's a flood happening on Earth. There's a lot of inanimate objects, like you said, on the Earth. So when the flood comes, there's going to be stuff whirling around in the water. It's not just an open ocean. So let's say hypothetically, which one's going to be more resistant to this debris, to this other objects that are swirling around the water? Is it going to be the soft-bodied whale, or is it going to be the hard-bodied ark?
I mean, in that situation, it would be the ark that would
The
be
ark.
most
This
resistant.
is almost a battle of like longevity. See who can hold out the longest. Because I
True.
think it would take the whale a long time to take out the ark.
I
It
mean-
depends on what if he's attacking the ark, right? He's still going on, and then all of a sudden the water starts receding, and he's still attacking because he's not the smartest fella. And then all of a sudden they recede, he's dead on the land. What would happen then?
I mean, that's a possibility. It would get stuck on land once the water receded, and then it would
Die.
die.
And then I think the ark would be the winner in that situation.
In that situation, yes.
But then also, what if he attacked it enough and the splinters didn't stop him?
It depends
And
on
then
how
he
much.
sunk it. If he gets a hole in there, it might be game over. For the
Yeah,
ark.
yeah. So it depends on how much damage is the whale
Unless they
actually
patch
able
the
to
hole.
He could
inflict.
patch the hole.
True.
It's not.
But
It's
then-
not too hard
yeah.
of a process. If you ever played Sea of Thieves before, you would know. You just have to put a wood piece and just hit it a little bit. You
Okay.
can repair
Yeah.
any holes pretty easily.
And it splinters, so they could probably take the splinters
They
and
could-
make it into a plank and
That's a
then
good
put it
point.
back.
Yeah.
Right, and even on top of that, if we flip the script again, let's say the water hypothetically never drains
Mhm.
from the flood. Which opponent is surviving in a water ecosystem? Which one's fitting for food? Which
The
one's
whale.
living in the ocean?
The whale,
Okay, so
in
you
that
think the whale would
case.
win in that sense. But like we said earlier, there's a lot of debris in this ocean, or this flood. Ultimately, what if the whale confuses some debris for food? At that point, it ingests something that's not actually food. Then what?
That's
Because we know the ark.
That is a brilliant point.
It is. So if it swallows a piece of debris, maybe it's a sharp piece of debris, swallows it, it then punctures.
Because we know the ark wouldn't swallow anything.
But
Also-
it can swallow stuff because it swallowed Jonah and it
Yeah.
was fine. So, I mean, maybe it can swallow a lot of other stuff and be fine.
You also have to think about this though. What if, while he's attacking the ark, right, his enemy, the giant squid that you saw, decided, oh, he's pretty vulnerable right now. He's not focused on me, and then he goes up and attacks him. So then it's like the ark and the squid.
Then it would be a
versus
2
the
against
whale.
1 thing.
And then who do you
I
think
mean,
would
if he
win?
eats the squid, he kind of has a power up.
He does. It could be nourishment. You know, he gets like a health boost. So this is. I told you,
This is
they
tough.
only get tougher.
They only
This
get
is-
harder.
The
This
bear
is
and
tough.
Goliath was the easiest one.
This is tough.
It's tough because at the end of the day, we need a definite answer, and it takes a lot of in-depth conversation to get to that answer.
Just think about
Think about
it.
that.
Keep your, if you have to.
I mean, you could flip through your.
If you're
try to
hungry,
find
take a
some
bite,
answers.
Reagan. If you need to think for a minute.
No, no.
You can try to
That's
find
for
some
you.
answers. There might be some
Find
answers in there
answers. Is there
somewhere.
answers in here?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there. I don't.
Where's the whale part?
You'll have to find that. I mean, I can't give you any more hints. You know.
Well, honestly, I mean, we've gone through so many scenarios with this
Let's
situation.
go
So
bare bones scenario,
combine
okay?
all the scenarios together. Who's winning? Like, on average, who's gonna win this?
Like they
encounter?
fight 10 times. Who wins the most times?
I don't know. I feel like maybe the ark will be able to hold up
Okay.
against it. Yeah, it does still depend on how hard the whale knocks up against the ship, because that's really all
And
it
how
can
bad the
do.
splinters are.
And how, yeah. But I still feel like the ark would be able to hold up against that.
That's a good answer, Reagan. That's a good answer. You know what? I like that answer. There you go. Take one.
Thank you. I'll just take a little one.
You ready for your next hypothetical? You got 2 more remaining.
Okay.
They only get harder. Carson, the floor's yours.
Yeah, so diving right back into it, if you are hungry,
You
take
need
a bite
the-
of this if you'd like. But third question, we're kind of dimming it down a little bit, guys. Ultimately, we've had some severe cases, I would say, probably the extremes. We're gonna dive a little deeper into what could possibly happen. So ultimately, we have 2 opponents here. One being King Nebuchadnezzar, the king of the Babylonian Empire. He receives a revelation. He receives a dream from God, and Daniel, ultimately one of his servants at the time, who is also a servant of God, explains this dream to him. And ultimately, the outcome of this dream is you will become rabid, if you will. You become wild for 7 years. So ultimately, he feeds on the grass of the fields. He's ultimately essentially a wild animal. He lets his hair grow out, his fingernails grow out. He's essentially no longer a human. He's in the body of a human, but he has the mind, the consciousness of a rabid animal. You could imply that he has rabies, the equivalency of rabies.
Okay.
So ultimately, this guy is going to be, his IQ is definitely going to decrease severely. He's no longer a human at this point. His need for aggression is going to be increased. He's going to need a lot of food to eat. It's not going to be the king's food anymore. He's not going to sit at the king's table. It's going to be in the field. It's going to be grass. Ultimately, though he has rabies, he's going to have some weaknesses, but also the aggression could be an advantage. Ultimately, both these things need to be factored in order to see what the outcome of this fight would be. The second one is going to be a donkey from the book of Numbers.
Okay.
So this donkey actually has the ability to see angels. He can see the spiritual world around him. So ultimately, he sees an angel that God has sent to this man. Now, the donkey ultimately stops in front of this angel on the way to a city, and the man beats the donkey because the donkey can see the angel, but he cannot. So he beats his donkey because the donkey stops on the side of the road. This happens 3 times. This is important because we see the resilience of this donkey. This donkey's taken 3 beatings on the road until eventually he comes before this angel again. But this time God reveals the angel to the man. But you know what's important about the donkey? The donkey speaks to the man. This is a speaking donkey in the book of Numbers. This speaking donkey talks to the man. So we know, number one, that this donkey's intelligence has increased. He can now speak 2 languages. He can speak the language of the animal kingdom, and he can speak English. Intelligence increased, and we see a contrast in Nebuchadnezzar, whose intelligence decreases. So almost a reverse of role we see. We see the donkey increasing to almost a human-like intelligence. And then we see Nebuchadnezzar fall from a human-like intelligence to what would be the equivalent of an animal-like intelligence. situations.
Yeah, if you don't mind me adding, it's like two sides of the same coin, right?
Right.
A man became beast, and a beast become man.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right. So this is why it's a good question.
And again, this donkey is resilient. It's taken 2 beatings, 3 beatings, and then ultimately he comes to the point where he can now speak to the man. Whereas Nebuchadnezzar, again, very rabid, very aggressive, but that comes with kickbacks. That comes with ultimately weaknesses. We know dogs, we know animals with rabies have some weaknesses. So upon these 2 characters coming in to a fight, they're both opponents. They both want the victory. They both want to receive what would be the win. At the end of the day, what would you say on your first impression would be the winner in this case before we get into a couple hypotheticals? Just off the dome, off the rip.
Can I ask a question
Go
about
ahead. You were very good with
Nebuchadnezzar?
questions.
Now, you said it's light rabies, but is it rabies? Does he have some sort of
We don't know.
condition?
Right. So we don't know for sure if he had rabies. We see a lot
Okay.
of characteristics of a rabid animal.
Okay.
So we can ultimately assume he has rabies. But if he doesn't have rabies, it's something very similar to rabies.
Okay. So say, all right. So just looking at the situation itself before we go into hypotheticals. Me personally, I think the donkey
The donkey's winning?
will be able to win.
All right, I will argue against you
Okay.
on this because I think beast form Nebuchadnezzar. Have you ever seen like some crazy guy on drugs before?
Yeah. Yes.
They're not losing fights.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
like
right.
they're whatever it takes.
They are quite resilient.
And he's going crazy in this scenario. He's got like sharp fingernails he can claw the donkey with.
True.
And long hair. He can like.
But the way I'm thinking is the donkey could just like rear up and then like kick him with his hind legs.
Right.
But like some people,
And I feel
when
like a hard enough blow would.
Let's
some
say-
people are so far gone that they don't even feel pain
Right.
anymore. So he just keeps coming at the donkey and he's like clawing it.
Well, I feel like the
I
donkey
would
would
argue
have
that
some.
Nebuchadnezzar is as far gone as they can get. So keep that in mind.
Right, let's throw this hypothetical in there.
Like,
You
he's
walk
eating
down,
grass
you walk
for-
down New York City Street, one of their famous streets, let's say 47th Street.
Mhm.
You see a man who's far gone and methamphetamine, let's say for example, somebody who's on the street.
Have you ever tried methamphetamine?
No. No, I have not.
I mean,
You
listen,
don't
Don't
answer.
take drugs.
Yes.
guys,
do
for our
not take
chat,
drugs.
he's clean. He hasn't taken any drugs. If you're wondering,
Drug free. Have
We
been all my life.
drug tested them before this.
yeah. But like we see on those streets, like those guys are practically invincible. Like it's almost like an antidote, ultimately that gives them this resilience.
Mhm.
So I mean, a donkey kick. Do you think a guy on methamphetamines eating a donkey
I don't
kick?
know, I feel like possibly not the first one, but I feel like if he keeps coming at the donkey and the donkey just uses that same tactic, then at least 2 to 3 blows from a donkey's kick would be enough to cause internal bleeding.
He goes for the eyes with his sharp fingernails. How's the donkey gonna see to kick him?
If Nebuchadnezzar is able to get the drop on him,
Yeah, let's
and
think.
go for
This
the
is a quick
eyes.
guy. This is an athletic dude. This guy's he's a king. He's not seen as weak. He's not seen as someone who would be docile. This is a quick, ferocious, rabid human being that has turned in almost to the likeness of an animal. So this guy's a predator. This guy's ready to get in, sink his teeth in something. So ultimately, this is not going to be a very calm approach. It's not a patient approach. This is going to be something where we're getting in and we're getting out.
Remember, even his the king's advisors, they tried to bring him back, but they couldn't. Remember?
I mean, probably would have tried pretty hard to get their king back. Don't you
Yeah.
think?
yeah, I imagine.
They might have been
If
armed,
multiple
too.
people couldn't
Think
get him
about
back, then
How's the donkey gonna beat him?
Here's the thing, though. We have a weakness. So Scripture actually tells us, we believe that Scripture tells us he was an animal. He had a rabies-like demeanor for 7 periods, which we believe is 7 years. So this is a temporary position. This is a temporary mindset for him. This is not permanent. So let's say hypothetically this goes on for 7 years.
Okay.
Ultimately, he regains his consciousness. He's no longer rabid. He's now a king again. He's now a human. Does this put the donkey at an advantage?
I mean, I think it would. Now, when he regains his consciousness and his humanness again, does he still want to fight the donkey, or does he come to the realization?
Oh,
like,
yeah, they're at it.
why am I fighting
This
this
is
donkey?
No, it's
Well-
like I've been fighting you for so long. We do gotta finish the
Okay.
fight.
Second nature at that point.
Okay. Well,
We're creatures of
this
habit.
is where it becomes a little bit tougher, because if he regains his consciousness and his humanness, then he can start thinking again. And I think there, Nebuchadnezzar could start to maybe strategize more on what would be the best way to take down the donkey. Now, is the donkey still intelligent.
Yes.
Yeah, so this donkey
So-
hasn't changed a whole lot, but you have to think King Nebuchadnezzar has gained his consciousness. What else does he gain when he gains his consciousness back?
True.
Gains
Does
his
he
kingdom,
gain-
no?
Yep.
Gains the kingdom back.
Yes.
Then he has the support of his kingdom.
Right.
But
so
then, if he's in the midst of a fight, can he easily call upon his kingdom to assist him?
how about this? He has trained warriors that know what to do in a sense of battle. Does he need to call upon them? Or do they use logic and do they use a warrior mindset
Are they watching,
to save
or
their
is
king?
this in the middle of
I'd
nowhere?
probably
Or no.
assume that his kingdom would have eyes on him
Yeah.
while he's in this.
Well, yeah, do they
Okay.
leave their king stranded? Ever.
Well, I feel like if they try to go and get the king and fail to do that, but then they see their king is in this fight with the donkey, would they be duty bound to go assist their king, even though it's obvious the king has lost all sense of humanity? And
If you were in that situation, what would you do? You're king, right? You're an advisor to the king,
I'm an
right?
advisor to the king.
And
Now,
you see him. He's lost his mind for 7 years.
He's brawling. He's
not
like
the
he
man
is
you've
like
known.
he's going toe to toe with this donkey right now. Like Joe trading blows for
And you
blows.
keep checking on him, right? And he's still fighting this donkey. And he's like, you can tell he's not the same king. But then one day you go back and you see it's the same king you used to know, the same human. you used to
okay,
know.
so
That
if
you
I
held
can
dear to your
tell
heart.
that the king is now back to his normal self,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, I would probably go in and help assist him.
Okay, I have a point for you.
And
there.
I would honestly,
Go
well, it would probably be more difficult because if he's still in that rabid state and you try to help him fight the donkey, would he?
He'd probably claw you too.
Yeah,
Like,
so maybe I would have waited until I saw that he was starting to get back to his normal
I mean,
self.
we don't know that he was aggressive.
Mhm.
It never says if he was aggressive, but like in this hypothetical,
Mhm.
we're assuming that he's aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah, in this hypothetical, we're assuming the equivalency of rabies. So I'm a
Okay.
very rabid person.
Okay.
But to flip a script, let's throw another hypothetical in there that might make your answer easier in a sense.
All right.
So ultimately, we say hypothetically, if this fight lasts 7 years, it could last longer.
Mm-hmm.
It could last a lifetime. Who knows? It's a
Reagan,
hypothetical.
we just got a message in the chat. Somebody finds you very attractive. in the chat.
Oh.
You want to shout out your socials or?
No.
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 Okay.
No. But I appreciate the comment.
Absolutely. Let's say this. Watch the study. Look at a study that ultimately said that donkeys eat about 1.5 to 2% of their body weight a day.
Okay.
So we know from scripture that ultimately Nebuchadnezzar, he's eating grass. He's eating grass at the field.
So he's
Right.
obviously not like
Right, so he's eating grass in the
Yeah.
same way a donkey would eat hay. So they're both herbivores in this sense. So they're not eating each other. They're just
Right.
trying to win the battle. But let's say hypothetically, it comes to a point of where they have to coexist and the battle turns into who can exist longer. A donkey here is eating 1.5 to 2% of their body weight a day. A human, an average man, is eating only 0.5% of his body weight a day. So if it comes into an ecosystem, who's stabilizing themselves in homeostasis in an ecosystem? Who's eating more food and who's eating more of their body weight? Who needs more food to survive?
Can you define homeostasis for the chat?
Yeah, so this would be a sense of neutralistic aspect of your life. So if you ultimately have an ability, and Reagan can explain this a little better, he's an expert on it.
Well, I
But
wouldn't say
homeostasis would be existing in a way that maintaining yourself. It's ultimately not being in an imbalance. It's a balanced perspective of your life. This could be internally. This could be ultimately be physical. It could be mental. But at the end of the day, and this is based off what Reagan had mentioned to me earlier, Nebuchadnezzar was not in homeostasis. We don't know for sure if the donkey was in homeostasis. But upon who can coexist in an ecosystem, we have to look at who's eating more food.
Hmm.
So who would you say
I
is
mean,
eating more food?
in that event, the donkey's eating more food.
Donkey's eating more food. So what would that say? Who's coexisting longer?
I would say the donkey.
The donkey's coexisting longer because he's eating more food.
if they have limited amounts of food.
Right. Oh, if they have limited
if it's
amounts of
I mean,
food.
there's not an infinite
True.
amount of food.
True.
We know food takes a while to grow.
So if the donkey is constantly eating,
Right. The donkey's eating
What if the
1.5 to
donkey-
2% of his body weight.
What if
Right.
donkey has bone meal and he bone meals the food?
yeah, but wouldn't that also like, I don't know, think about how it impacts
This donkey's
the
smart.
donkey.
Like he's intelligent.
He is a smart.
Right.
He's
Donkey
a smart
speaks English.
cookie.
Well, then if the donkey's smart, can the donkey then control how much he eats?
I would argue.
So you're implying that the donkey would diet.
Yeah, if it
Okay.
needed to
If-
survive,
Okay.
it would put itself like
And-
it would limit like how much it consumed.
And if this
Um,
donkey can see angels, I mean, like, could he call upon angels to help him?
I mean, that's a good That's a good point. Now, the donkey can see angels. Can the donkey communicate with angels?
I mean, I'm assuming so.
Okay.
He sees them, you know.
All right. So if it can communicate with angels and say it needed some assistance, then I would argue yes, it could call upon angels.
Let's start with that point. That angel has become a part of this battle.
Okay.
Who can see the angel? Who can't? Let's say hypothetically, it's not even on side. It's a neutral angel. It's just coming for blood. We know there are angels of death in the Bible, but ultimately are very dangerous. Let's say hypothetically, it's just coming for blood. It doesn't matter who it is. Who's seeing the angel? Who's getting out of the angel's way? It's coming in head on.
The donkey.
The donkey would. Does that imply a disadvantage to Nebuchadnezzar at all? Or is he eating an attack from an angel?
I mean, I would argue it would be a disadvantage to Nebuchadnezzar.
Disadvantage?
The donkey can see something that Nebuchadnezzar cannot.
So, but it also, like, if you take into account God's plans for Nebuchadnezzar in the future, I mean, the angel's probably not going to kill him, you know? 'Cause, like,
No, I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it.
But he also used the donkey too, wouldn't you say?
yeah, but the donkey's been used in this situation already.
Oh,
Because that's past tense.
Oh,
Past
sorry.
tense.
I didn't. My bad.
Okay, but you
Forgive me,
forgot
Reagan.
you forgot a specific point that ultimately could determine the battle or not. This is something that we kind of left out earlier. We figured you would catch along with, but let's just go ahead and introduce it.
Okay.
So ultimately, let's say hypothetically Nebuchadnezzar within this 7-year period does in fact have rabies or the equivalent of rabies.
Right.
Ultimately, we know that a donkey could also contract rabies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It says that a donkey can contract rabies from the saliva of other mammals. Let's say hypothetically Nebuchadnezzar gets around that first kick and he sinks his teeth in, let's say, a thigh or something.
Mm-hmm.
Has the donkey now contracted rabies, and does that affect the situation?
Well, and that went back to my original question: is this rabies? Is like if it's similar to rabies?
Say hypothetically it is.
Then, if Nebuchadnezzar is able to bite the donkey, then eventually rabies would set in.
Right.
Now, it wouldn't be a quick like that situation, so it depends on. After that bite, is the donkey able to eventually win? It would be similar to Goliath and the two bears, where he may have been able to wipe out the two bears, but one of the bears got a good hit in, he bleeds to death or dies of infection, so it's more or less donkey may have won the battle, but Nebuchadnezzar won the war sort of thing.
Would you say that this rabies, this donkey becoming rabid, is that an advantage or is that pose a disadvantage?
I mean, if the donkey does become rabid,
This is assuming rabies.
and they're still we're assuming rabies,
Yeah.
and they're still going at it. They're still fighting. So the donkey doesn't win after it's bitten in some way, shape, or form. They're still going at it. Eventually, rabies does set in. Then you have essentially two crazed animals going at it. I think it would give the donkey a little bit of an edge because now the donkey is just as violent, just as crazy. Is the donkey able to strategize or anything? No, but I think having two crazed animals going at it,
Right.
it would be a bloody brawl. Now, who would win? I mean, that's now that if they're both rabid,
Right.
it's kind of harder to determine who would win.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Let's make this easier on you. So,
Okay.
I mean, we're kind of piecemealing you some details here, ultimately trying to work you through what your answer would be, just giving you a little bit of insight here and there. Ultimately, we have determined what species of donkey this is. So there's different species of donkey.
Okay.
Some pose advantages in some situations, other pose different. So we know donkeys, ultimately, there's a type of breed that, let's say, is used for protection.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also donkeys used for other purposes. So let's say, hypothetically, we throw in a miniature donkey.
Mm-hmm.
So these miniature donkeys are, they're smaller in size.
Right.
Ultimately, they're used for different aspects of, let's say, hypothetically, farm work. They're not used specifically for protection. They actually have an increased risk of injury because of how small they are.
Right.
How does this size up to a rabid Nebuchadnezzar?
Well, I feel like if it's a miniature donkey, that's
Okay.
very small, then I think Nebuchadnezzar would win. He would be able to at least get a good hold on the donkey.
Okay.
And say if it is rabies, he could makes it easier for him to bite him. If his nails are very long, it would be easier for him to scratch the donkey. And so resistance-wise from the donkey would be very minimal because of its small size.
And then what would you say, let's flip it to the opposite side of the spectrum. Let's say an American donkey, also known as a burro.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we're sizing up with a burro versus Nebuchadnezzar. Is this a tighter battle? Is this a tighter race? Or is this going to be another landslide?
Remind me, what is the size of
Yeah, so a burro, an American donkey, is a little bigger than the average sized donkey,
Okay.
the standard donkey. This donkey is used as a pack mule. A burro is also known as a mule. So ultimately,
Okay.
it's pulling carts. It's pulling different types of just luggage, carts of food, produce. So it's going to have a little bit larger size than a miniature donkey,
larger
but it's
size.
a little bigger than a
And
standard.
it can carry
It's pulling, yeah,
pulling
right,
heavy loads.
You said American donkey, correct?
right.
Reagan, do you know where Babylon is located?
I didn't know where Babylon is located, but I was.
Well,
Have you
thinking
been there
if-
before?
Is it in like South Carolina? or-
No, it's not in South Carolina. It's
Texas?
It's in I think was it modern day Iraq,
Around. Yeah.
around there,
You're the
somewhere in that
expert.
region.
You would know way better than us.
So, I mean, if we're going to be geographical here
Right.
and say there cannot be an American donkey because
I never said
they're
that.
America,
I'm just
and they can't be.
implying- I was
In,
giving
but I
food
was
for thought.
thinking if I don't know some reason, rhyme or reason, there is an American donkey
Right.
in the area
Mhm.
They prefer the
You
term
might have just
burro.
walked over.
or burrow.
Yeah.
He could have
Um,
swam over. Yeah,
He
you're not
could've.
too bad at swimming.
Right.
Maybe
this
he
is-
was
this
on the
is-
ark.
right.
Maybe it was
He
on
could have
the.
been on the ark.
Maybe it was on the ark.
And that's another great point that Cooper introduced because we know, let's say hypothetically in this situation, Nebuchadnezzar does in fact have rabies. Rabies ultimately invokes a fear of water.
Hmm.
Also has a sensitivity to light
Mhm.
and swift movement. So ultimately, if we factor in the side effects of rabies, and we're in a water situation, we're on a water arena, if you will.
Mhm.
Is this affecting Nebuchadnezzar's ability to take home the victory?
Well, yes. If there's a lot of water, or we're in a watery environment, and due to those due to that situation, yeah, I think Nebuchadnezzar would not fare so great
Okay,
in that fight.
gotcha. Well, let's
And
say
you said
that-
they're
yeah.
resistant, like not resistant, but like
They have a-
shies away from light. Is that what
right,
you
right. Sensitivity to
said? Sensitivity
bright
to light. So, what time of day is this fight going on?
I was 7 period.
All
It's
right.
over 7
seven-
periods.
Okay, so
Cycle-
it's
cycles of
over.
days.
Yeah.
It's a day,
Over
night,
so-
everything
so-
in between.
Then, if it's like daylight, it's very sunny outside, would that then impact Nebuchadnezzar's ability to fight during the day?
What if you brought the fight into a cave or under a tree or something?
Well, then that might be a little bit different, but
Right,
Do
we
you
still
think?
have
Do you think Nebuchadnezzar would have the IQ and the mental capacity? To
But
do
again, we're assuming he has rabies in the spot. So
Right.
this is rabies is not a guaranteed that he does have rabies in the first place. It could just
Right.
be some
that?
crazy,
Yeah, but it is a guarantee that he is.
crazy.
Yes.
okay,
we can assume there's a whole not a lot of thinking going on. There's not a
Okay.
lot of
right,
cognitive.
I mean, this
thinking.
dude's eating grass. He's with the animals here.
right.
Like,
So
He's
he's
been
not.
cursed by God.
So he's not
Yeah.
strategizing on how to defeat this dog.
No, I would
no.
highly doubt.
I would say he sees red, and that's about it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I feel like the lack of strategy.
leaves the donkey because donkey's intelligent.
Yeah. So that would, points for the donkey in that situation.
So you're leading towards a donkey right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but think about it this way: in this water situation, if we're near water, the sun shimmering on the water's
Mhm.
surface. If you lay in the bottom of the pool and kind of just hang out, and you look up, you see there's shimmering in the water. There's a little bit of bright light that's reflecting off the water. Is this impacting Nebuchadnezzar's ability?
And we
to
know
overcome.
that ancient cities were often built along water
True.
bodies.
True.
bodies of water.
So
Babylon actually had a river that went through the gate.
right. So if
So it's highly likely that there is water.
right, right,
nearby
right.
in the
So if
area that's
Nebuchadnezzar is facing that water and that light is going into his eyes, then I think that would be again an advantage for the donkey, disadvantage for Nebuchadnezzar. But what if Nebuchadnezzar is not facing, like his back is to the water? Could that then change things? I think maybe a little, but I still feel like the donkey. Now, again, going back to the size of the donkey, if it's a miniature donkey, I think Nebuchadnezzar has a chance.
This
Like
donkey's
much better
intelligent,
chance.
so maybe he could use the light to
Possibly. So maybe the donkey can position itself
Okay.
in a way to where Nebuchadnezzar has to
It's
face.
an interesting point. Let me add this into the mix though. Let's broaden up the species of the donkey. Let's say hypothetically, we've introduced a gelding. Ultimately, is that type of donkey? Is that ultimately pursuing Nebuchadnezzar with more aggressiveness? Is it going to be more or less athletic? Is it going to be more or less docile? Is it going to be smarter? Is it going to be able to combat the aggressiveness of Nebuchadnezzar, or in turn flee? Is it going to be quicker? Is it going to be more agile? Is it going to be stronger?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thanks.
Bless you.
And for our audience out there, a gelding is a male neutered donkey.
Male
How did this donkey get neutered?
I would say any way an animal gets neutered.
No,
I don't know.
it was off topic.
Does-
Nehemiah was probably a eunuch because he was the king's cupbearer. So
Does that impact this argument in any way for you?
not really, but I just thought
I was
Reagan.
asking
Reagan.
I don't know. A neutered donkey.
Yeah, so a gelding. Yeah. Gelding.
Well, again, I'm not an expert on donkeys,
Okay.
their behavior before and after neutering. But does neutering impact donkeys' behavior, abilities?
I'm not a donkey expert. I thought you were.
I'm not a
I
donkey
figured,
expert.
well, I figured part of history would be.
Probably more passive, don't you think?
Normally, yeah.
Ultimately, yeah, we'd
That's what
say.
you'd assume,
I would say
right?
it's fair to say.
But is this still the intelligent donkey?
Yeah, he's intelligent.
He's a smart donkey.
This donkey can see angels. I can't see angels.
Okay. So I feel like even if it is neutered, if it's still an intelligent donkey, I can see angels, and I feel like that could still,
Is he
neutered or not.
All right. So final answer. 3, 2, 1, go.
Weighing
I
in
still
all the factors.
factor
Fine.
in?
Go,
I
go,
said
go,
factor
go.
in.
Smart donkey, dumb
Factor
man.
in. He's stronger. He's more agile. Less testosterone. He might be quicker on his feet though. He's lost a little bit of weight. Ultimately, he has a spiritual enlightenment. He
Mhm.
can see angels. Nebuchadnezzar, on the other hand, we're assuming he has rabies, very rabid. He sees red. He's going to be hyper aggressive. He's also going to be very agile. He's going to be the opposite of docile. Ultimately, he might not have the intelligence factor, but he's going to have that dog in him. He's going to have that aggressiveness to really sink his teeth in something. And hypothetically, if he does, it's going to come down to who can survive rabies the longest, because we know that rabies impacts animals fatally.
Right, right.
But then we go back to, is a human technically an animal? Is it going to affect him differently? So if we factor all these in, give us your answer, let the viewers know, and then give us one definitive reason.
3, 2, 1, go.
I think in the end the donkey probably wins.
Okay.
Donkeys winning.
Yeah.
And
The
then-
short-term battle, I think.
Okay,
short-term
battle.
Now, again, if the Nebuchadnezzar sinks his teeth into him, and it is rabies that we're talking about, I think eventually the donkey will contract rabies. But then I can't remember
Good answer.
Good answer.
how long it takes for rabies to kill,
You
because
ever had
eventually the
rabies
rabies will
before?
die.
Right.
So I can't remember how
Have
long.
you contracted it before?
No, I have not.
Have you done any research on it?
No, I
Okay.
have not. No, I have not.
So donkey, and then one definitive reason why. What's the logic?
I just think that the donkey, with its intelligence, with its ability to see angels and stuff like that,
So you would say-
I think that the donkey will be able to position itself in a way to deliver a decisive blow against.
So brains versus
Nebuchadnezzar.
brawn, brains wins.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I like that answer, Reagan.
That's
And
good.
so,
Good work,
Final
good work.
question.
so for your final hypothetical for today, this one's interesting because they're actually mentioning the exact same verse, these two people.
Mhm.
So if we turn to Matthew 7, verse 15, we read, Jesus speaking, "Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves."
Mhm.
So for this hypothetical, we have Muhammad from the Quran or Joseph Smith from the Book of Mormon. Who would win if these two people got into a fight?
Do they have any weapons?
Yes, most likely.
Well, we know, the Quran assigned this feat to Muhammad where he split the moon. So keep that in mind.
But do we
We don't.
believe
that's
in
it.
that? though?
No, absolutely not.
But for the sake of the hypothetical, just keep that in mind. It didn't happen. Prophet Muhammad definitely didn't split the moon, but keep that in mind.
Right.
But they've said that his followers,
So we have Muhammad, and who's the other guy? Again?
Joseph Smith.
Joseph
From the
Smith,
Book of Mormon.
From the Book of Mormon.
He has a gun, by the way.
But if we were putting like followers, Muhammad had an army.
And Joseph Smith had a couple people in Utah.
So
right?
now it's no longer 1 versus 1. It's
Well, you got to think about it.
whoever's
Islam
It's-
versus Latter-day Saints.
Mormonism.
Not all of Islam, though. That's
Yeah,
not
not
all of it.
like when it first started.
Yeah, because think about it. It could just be the two leaders of these religions going head to head.
Now remember, Mormons. This came about during the 19th century. Was it?
18?
1800s.
The 1800s.
1800s. So by then we have muskets.
Uh-huh.
most of them flintlocks.
Mm-hmm.
But
See, this is more your style, I feel.
so Muhammad,
Okay.
this is like still, it's not, it's after Christ, after Jesus, but it's still like Roman Empire era.
No, Muhammad's
It'd be a little
after.
later. It'd be
Oh,
like
after Roman
Because
Empire.
that was around the
1000
time, like,
AD, around then.
When
it was way after.
It was pretty later on.
Chad, let us know when that happened.
Yeah.
I know it was AD. I just can't remember exactly like when AD it was.
Chad, we need a little bit of help.
But you could guess that their weaponry is more or less still swords, shields, bows, and arrows. So
Yeah.
I guess they could have that, the bows and arrows for long range.
I'm seeing a lot of 610 AD in the chat.
610.
so
Okay, so 610 AD. But the Mormons have firearms.
They do have fire.
Okay,
But there's
what's-
less of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, keep that in
what's
mind.
what would you say from a
And-
historical perspective? What's
and-
the Achilles heel of a musket?
I mean, it is slow to load.
Okay.
All right. And depending on what type of musket, if they still have the smoothbore muskets, which they would most likely have, the rifled muskets, you saw they did exist, but it was mainly for those who hunted, frontiersmen types. And I'm not guessing that the Mormons.
Well, they were in Utah. So
They were in
that's
Utah,
pretty
so
frontiery.
maybe they got a hold of some rifled
Or
muskets.
they made it to Utah eventually.
So there's a chance at that. But range wise, I mean, compared to antiquity style weaponry, they got a little bit of an advantage there. But again, how many people are we dealing with here? So it's Muhammad versus Joseph Smith.
Mm-hmm.
But is there an entourage with Muhammad or Joseph Smith?
Both of them would have theirs.
So
They're
they're still-
early supporters.
And you
They're
got to keep
early
this in mind.
supporters.
The Muslims do find, or more entitled to, or would be more inclined to fight harder. That's a big part of their faith is
Right.
martyrdom.
Right. But is there, like, Joseph Smith's people and then Muhammad's people, is there a numerical superiority in any way? For either
Muhammad
one?
has a larger
Muhammad would have more
number.
people.
Have a
So
larger
it's
group.
army.
more people or better weapons.
Well, given that the muskets, you could get a volley off.
Mm-hmm. Think they got 2 people with one
And that
shot.
would-
They were good enough.
Yeah, that would take out maybe the front row. But then if there's enough of Muhammad's people, they would be able to overrun the Mormons.
Yeah, but what if they have a really big distance between the 2 of them? So they have time to get off like 3 or 4 volleys. hypothetically.
The thing is, though, if not Muhammad, but if Joseph Smith's people are well versed with a musket, so like, not good. If
you want to play?
no,
It
If-
helps your mind.
Save it for later.
if like for example, a trained soldier during the 17 and 1800s would be able to shoot off 3 shots under a minute
Okay.
with a musket.
Mm-hmm.
So that depends on, are Joseph Smith's people, do they have that background? Are there any soldiers with Joseph Smith, like former soldiers, or are we purely talking about civilians? Who, yes, if they grew up with the muskets, they know how to load them. Can they load them quickly enough?
For the hypothetical, let's give each team a month of prep time for the
Month,
fight, so they can learn how to load their muskets good, learn how
Okay.
to aim good, and
but Muhammad's people still don't have the muskets
they don't have it because they're in the
because
past
they're
yet.
from that.
But
period.
they have an advantage. If they attack early in the morning, they can drink coffee, and the Mormons can't.
But
So they'd be more tired. They have an
Islam
advantage.
does have prayer time too.
Yeah.
That's-
What if
that
the
is
prayer
also a
time
factor.
hits?
Like
I
in the
say,
midst of battle.
I don't think they have to in the midst of battle. But
I'm uneducated on this
I think-
topic.
I'm not educated either. But let's just say, for the sake of battle, for the sake of hypothetical, they do have to have a short prayer time in the middle of the battle.
I mean,
If the battle lasts that long.
if the battle lasts that long.
But we would think with the prep time, they'd be able to plan their attacks so that they could have the most optimal window,
Okay.
the longest window between prayer times.
All right. I still feel it comes down to whoever has. So does every follower of Joseph Smith, do they have a musket?
Well,
Most
with this 1 month of prep time, they could probably acquire
Okay.
it, considering they know it'd be a life or death
Do
battle.
we know the exact numbers?
Probably not. No, you
Okay.
just gotta use your imagination for this one.
Use my imagination.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think.
So you think it's a numbers game almost?
Yeah, almost. Yeah. Oh, show the camera. This lovely
Can you give a sponsor
broken
read?
clarinet.
Did you got the script right? The sponsor read?
Huh?
You got the sponsor read.
Okay, you want to
We'll
dive
bring
right
in
into our
sponsors after this
sponsorship?
question.
Okay,
okay.
sponsors.
Funny you
That's
mentioned
what I'm saying.
Muhammad. So we actually have a sponsorship. A couple of our sponsors have come in today to support us financially, but also to take care of our first podcast guest here. Ultimately, this local legend deserves a little bit of recognition. He served the community for how long as a teacher?
I've been a teacher for 4 years.
4
now.
years, almost half a decade.
But
ladies
I've
and
lived
gentlemen.
here all my life.
He's lived here all his life. He's loyal to the district. He's loyal to his community. He left for High Point and came back with the tools he needed to make future citizens of Davidson County
And
successful.
serve the community.
Serve the
this is
community.
And he's a cat dad.
I am
He's a
cat
stand-up
dad.
guy.
How
So
many cats
ultimately,
do you
let us know. Let
If
the
you don't want
viewers
to
know how
share,
many
that's too
cats.
private. You
Well,
don't have to
no,
share.
it's all right. I've got 7 inside cats, but the reason we have 7 is because we have a lot of ferals in the neighborhood, and I just got a big heart. My mom
That
has
is
a big
true.
heart.
He
We
has
just
a big
couldn't
heart.
say no to many of these because a decent amount of them got sick, and we were not going to just
Sorry
let
to
them
hear
die on our front porch.
Right.
So we had to take them in.
Do
get
we know
them
what
to the vet.
cause?
Huh?
Do we know what cause for this sickness in the cats?
It's just this upper respiratory system
Okay.
that cats tend to get from time to time, but it can be very deadly if it's not treated. They essentially suffocate and die.
That's not what you want.
And no, it's not what I want, and I cannot stand to see animals
Right.
suffer. So
And that's how dedicated he is to the community.
This
ladies and
is
gentlemen.
this is the character of this dude that we're talking about
Yeah.
here. This is a
W's in the
stand-up
chat.
citizen, an A+ citizen. right
hence
W's
here.
in
why
the
I
chat.
have 7 cats.
Carson, bring in the first.
So from our sponsors, first we'll do a segment from Bert's Outdoor Sports and Gear, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
So Bert's Outdoor Sports and Gear, they've gifted first of all safari hat. This is outdoor gear. This is keeps mosquitoes out,
All right.
ultimately keeping you from the sun.
How's the quality from your first impression?
Let us
How are you
know.
just feeling it? How do you feel?
Well, it fits my head pretty good.
Good. And what's the appeal? What's the need to go out and pursue this piece of merchandise from Bert's Outdoor Sports and Gear?
Well, I feel like having a hat, good to shield yourself from the sun, and it's comfortable. as well.
Comfortable. What would you rate on a scale of 1 to 10 on utility? How important would this be for everyday life? Let's say hypothetically,
Everyday life.
everyday life. You're an avid hiker. You're an avid outdoor
Okay.
explorer.
Right here, we have one on our hand.
Type of the line.
I went hiking to what was it, Stone Rock Mountain the other day.
He went hiking the other day.
He went hiking the other day. So what would you say? Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Is this something our viewers should buy?
Yeah, if they're an avid hiker, if they're the outdoorsy type, they're going to
Okay.
be outdoors a lot.
Absolutely.
I think this hat provides a lot of protection from the sun on your head.
And look on the sides, you can. Yeah,
Oh,
I noticed this feature.
I didn't know you could do that. And
We'll
so,
help you out with it.
You should help him out with it. Makes it
It's
easy.
a transformable hat, guys. Ultimately, this is not something for people inexperienced. Obviously, we know Reagan. Again, he's experienced with
This is his
outdoor
first experience with it. By the way.
hiking, and this is just a little gift from our sponsors. So ultimately, if you could just shout out Bert's Outdoor Sports and Gear, that would be great.
Bert's Outdoor Sports and Gear.
So now we have it flipped up on the side. This is now a visor.
Okay.
Comes in clutch in the hot
Quite
safari
stylish.
type.
And it has neck cover too,
Neck cover? Okay, I mean,
so you don't get
that's-
sunburn on your neck.
So our second are going to be these are prototype B. These are going to be the SE7 shades. These are tinted. They're polarized. Ultimately, they have the ability to block the sun in extreme conditions. Now,
Really
these,
good pair of sunglasses.
These are
Watch
these
it.
are very affordable sunglasses. Bert's Sports and Gear has been kind enough to gift
Okay.
Dr. Reagan something special just to keep the sun out of his eyes. What would you rate these on a scale of 1 to 10?
I like him. I like him. Now, do I look good? Like the
Yes. you know.
color of the
Chat.
shades?
One's in the chat if he looks good. 2 in the chat if you don't think so.
What would you say the utility on these are from scale of 1 to
Lot of
10? How
ones.
important?
There
would
is
these
a
be?
lot of ones.
Importance, I think.
I'm gonna run a poll real quick in the chat. okay?
At least a 9, because
9.
if you're outdoorsy, if you're constantly outside and it's sunny, of course, then these would come.
Reagan,
good
98
combo, too.
98% of our viewers say that you look good right now with the hat on.
Well, hey, I appreciate that.
And then lastly, this is something special from our sponsors. This is a special piece. I'm going to let Aiden describe what this is to you because
Okay.
he's a little more interested on this topic. But this
Alright.
just goes around your hand. You hold it in your palm. Perfect. Just like that. It's just a little
Okay.
something to keep you from evil spirits, if you will.
So it looks like a fake rosary with a turtle.
Specific, yeah. It's specific for very extreme conditions. This is a resilient piece. If it's good luck to you, it's good luck to you. It's ultimately up to you what you want to do
So
with it. But
it's essentially
It could be
a
good,
good
luck,
luck
could be
charm,
bad
right,
luck.
so to speak.
Yeah.
for all we know, outdoor Bert's outdoor sports and gear, they're going to give you something that you're going to be able to use. This is something that they add in as well as a purchase. This is complimentary on them, and it's a very specific piece. You can't really find these anywhere, and Bert's Sports and Outdoor Gear ultimately give you something for you first giving. Ultimately, they're a very generous company. They give you something ultimately that. And just to top things off, they actually have given you a trophy for your last exploring visit. We see here, this will pop up on the side of the screen. This is Reagan on his first safari trip that he went with Outdoor Sports and Gear. He's a very loyal customer. This gift is not something you see every day. It's
very nice.
of the highest prestige.
If you don't mind me asking, how many rewards points do you have at Bert's Outdoor Sports and Gear?
Honestly, I've lost count.
Really?
I have lost count.
See, this guy, if this guy's a fan, you guys really have to check out Bert's Outdoor Sports and Goods.
And just to finish the clip, I have a script from Outdoor Sports they'd like me to read. Coming to you local, Lexington, North Carolina, we have outdoor gear and sports from Bert's shop. They have a limited supply of hats, SV7 glasses, Polar $19.99. Trophies will be supplied online if you'd like to purchase a custom trophy of your own self, maybe safari, maybe something else. But ultimately, come visit Bert's Sports and Outdoor Gear. Coming to Lexington, North Carolina, local spot. Thank you.
And then if I'm not mistaken, we have one more sponsor for today.
Okay.
Absolutely. So our second gift is going to be from might be familiar with the Winston-Salem Dash.
Yes.
So they've sponsored us in a way that might be a little unconventional.
Okay.
But they have given us this complimentary bat. This can be found at any Winston-Salem Dash baseball game. Coming soon, they're located in Winston-Salem. They're going to open up a new fundraiser, a new event that's coming out. And Reagan was going to tell you a little bit about the fundraiser coming out. What would you say is your favorite part about this fundraiser that they're lifting up? And then tell us who it's for.
The fundraiser?
Right.
It is for... who was it for? Educators.
Okay.
It is for educators.
Educators.
We can always need more uplifting spirits for educators.
Fundraising for
education. Everybody, can I get a W educators in the chat,
educators
please?
in the chat.
Yeah, shout out to my mother and my sister. My mom taught elementary school. My sister currently teaches elementary school.
Editor, can
You
put that
teachers
out and
are
something?
loved, supported, and you matter.
Yeah.
Matter.
We love teachers.
Absolutely.
We love
So, what's the total so far? How much have they raised, and what's ultimately the goal that we want to see in this next couple of months?
Well, the goal is to just raise enough money to distribute to educators in North Carolina for any needs they have in their classroom. Because a lot of stuff they get for their classroom, they have to pay out of their own pocket.
Right.
Whether it's decor or if it's supplies for students and stuff like that. And so just getting enough money to be able to spread that around so educators have enough to... You want me to put this on?
Yeah.
Well, just for our sponsors.
Okay, for our sure thing. To get what they need.
Absolutely. And so Reagan has been fronting this fundraiser. He's put in a lot of work off the camera on his own time. He's ultimately been pursuing this goal. He's trying to overcome what teachers would call a lack of funding.
Yeah.
This is something that every teacher faces, and ultimately it's a neglection that we need to ultimately bring awareness to our community. So what would you say, what's the number one cause of teacher neglection in Davidson County specifically?
The cause of it? Really, it's just... the government doesn't want to spend the money. They don't, for some reason.
Let's not get too political, right?
I know. I'm not going to. But it's just, it all comes down to funding because we are technically a government entity. We get funding, we get our paychecks and all that stuff from the government. So it all comes down to, are they willing to fund education? Whether it's teacher salaries or it's funding for schools and stuff like that. So.
All right.
I think we're going to asking. Can you just give this bat a swing instead of being able to swing? I think they asked on the thing.
Well, I don't want to hit y'all, so
Go ahead.
Yeah, just a little swing.
Speaking of swing, this leads us into our next segment. So ultimately, the Winston-Salem Dash has partnered with the High Point Rockers of High Point. ultimately, we know this guy is a High Point alumni. He has a lot of deep roots within the High Point area, going to college there. A lot of community, a lot of friends there. They've actually partnered with the Winston-Salem Dash to bring forth what our next fundraiser would be, another awareness campaign. Tell us a little bit about this next awareness campaign.
This next awareness campaign is just to, I had mentioned when I talked about my classes freshman year. One of the classes was talking about, food, nutrition, stuff like that, but talking about food deserts in High Point. And so that awareness campaign is focused more on eliminating these food deserts, maybe putting in gardens in certain communities, and just bringing awareness to the fact that there are food deserts in High Point, as well as elsewhere in the state, and that we need to correct that as much as possible.
Interesting. And then we have the signed baseball that's going to be auctioned off. Reagan's ultimately going to be heading this. This is a Tiger Woods signed baseball. Tiger Woods ultimately has signed this. He wants to auction this off. Good friends with Reagan, I'm not sure, but ultimately he wanted to gift Reagan this signed baseball. This is in mint condition. This is not something you see every day. It's not something you pick up off the street. This is an important piece. Reagan, what would you like to say to Tiger Woods for this amazing gift?
Well, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it. Any amount of support is appreciated, and we welcome it.
And thanks to your efforts for this cause, this Winston Dash fundraiser, they wanted to give you a trophy, another trophy.
Okay.
Absolutely. Give this a little toss. What do you think? Let's pop this out. Let's let our viewers see it. Let's see it in action. Go ahead and give this a toss. Let's see what you think. This piece
How's
right
it
here.
feel? How's it feel?
And speaking of toss, this leads us
Feels
into
good.
our next sponsor segment. So actually, Nike has partnered with the Winston-Salem Dash and the High Point Rockers. So ultimately, bring forth the last fundraiser, the trifecta, if you will, bringing awareness to the next level in their campaign. Tell us a little about Nike's campaign that they have in store for
Nike's campaign,
partnered with the Rockers and Dash.
Okay, so Nike's campaign focusing on shoes for the low-income families. Making sure that low-income families, and not just shoes, but clothing in general.
Right.
It's getting the wintertime now. It doesn't feel it. I mean, it feels it a little bit right now, but this week we're going
It's
to
hit or miss.
get more into the springtime temperatures.
I wish it would snow for Christmas. That's what I want. That's all I want for Christmas.
I've always
It's like
wanted
70 degrees.
another white
I
Christmas.
know.
It's been forever since we've had snow on Christmas, but unfortunately this year we're just not going to get it. It's going to feel like it's spring this year.
Nike has given us one last gift. They've seen the work he's done. They've seen what he's done, these strides he's taken to bring awareness. Ultimately, he's been fronting this campaign, and they'd just like to give you a gift. I'm going to show you, and then I would ask that you show the viewers. So go ahead and take a look at these shoes.
These shoes.
Tell us a little bit about them, what you like about them.
What
And if
I
you could just
like
show the
about
camera.
them, rage. At first I thought it was going to say Reagan. That would have been cool. But these shoes, I like them. I like the color. I like the style, especially the, what would you call these at the bottom here?
So these are going to be spring-loaded sport rages.
Yes.
So these shoes are going to be very agile. These are the new line of shoes that have just came out. So these are not on the display yet. These are not up for sale. Ultimately, he's just got the limited edition. So as we see here, they're spring-loaded. So anytime you need a quick getaway, anytime you're on the court, this is going to give you a specific edge.
All
Ultimately,
right.
this netting on the side. This is for stability. In case of an emergency, you might need to rely on this sports netting. But just on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say about these sport rages that you've been
Well,
gifted?
I like the design of them. Now I don't know how they feel on my feet, but they look like they'd be comfortable. So I give them probably about a 7 or an 8.
7 out of 10. Well,
Just by looking at them.
Absolutely. So we're going to let you hold on to these. Just one more quick word. Thank you to our sponsors. This is not something they had to do. This is something just out of the generous ability out of their heart, guys. So
Shout out Nike.
Shout out
Winston-Salem
Nike.
Dash and High Point Rockers.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to let you walk out with these.
All right.
Thank you so much to our
Reagan,
sponsors.
we're going to finish up with 10 questions from the chat.
Oh, 10? I was going to let you pick a number, 1 to 3.
Oh, okay.
How many questions do you want from the chat?
How many questions?
Yeah, 1 to 10. I'm going to finish off. We're going to get a couple of questions from the chat. Everybody, please put your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. So, how many? 1 to 10. Pick a number. So many questions I'll pick out of
3.
the chat. All right, so here's 10 questions from the chat. All right, so first question is coming in from @QuackMinds in the chat. He asks, who is your favorite Bible character and why?
Can it be Jesus?
It can be Jesus.
All right. I mean,
All right.
Jesus,
This is my
because
favorite too.
he's
Jesus.
our
I
Savior.
I
He
do
died
like
for our
Jesus, yeah.
sins. So I feel like he would always come out on top there.
That's a good answer. Okay, the second question we have from Cook Kyle. He asks, "What's your opinion on sports ball?"
Sports ball.
Yes.
Sports ball.
I'll be honest, I don't know what sports ball
It's like
is.
this type of thing where you have like
I
the
think
ball.
I think it's
like
an
Yeah.
umbrella term to
Okay.
categorize sports.
Sports
as a
that
whole.
require a ball.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Any
Okay,
sport
so sports that
requiring a
require a ball. I mean, I'm not particularly a sports person.
Okay.
Now
You have a favorite
I
sport?
I do. I get into football a little bit. Now, could I play football? No.
Okay.
But I like watching football. Soccer's another sport I like watching, even though it can take a while. And recently, I've gotten into lacrosse.
Really?
I've been going to the North Davidson lacrosse games in the spring, and that's fun. to
If I'm
watch
not
as well.
mistaken, Reagan, you are a coach, are you not?
I have this year actually officially been dubbed the men's tennis coach.
Well,
For
congratulations.
North
Congratulations.
Davidson, yes.
W's in the chat.
First time coaching, and I just hope and pray that it goes well because
With you,
I've never
the help,
coached
Reagan,
before.
I'm sure it'll sail smoothly.
hopefully.
Absolutely. And just for our viewers in the chat that maybe know this guy, when are tryouts?
Tryouts are, if I remember my calendar, it's the second week of February.
Okay.
Everybody,
I have to look at see
Mark
the
it
dates
down.
again, but the second week.
Mark
of
it down on
February.
your calendar.
if you're able, go try out for the
Tryouts.
tennis team.
Try
Tennis
out,
teams.
do your best. If you get cut, it's on
That's what
him.
it is.
Okay.
Alright.
Next question. Question 3 comes from Sal67 in the chat. He asks, "How big is your Clash of Clans base?"
My Clash of Clans. Well,
Yeah, how big is it?
I don't play Clash of Clans.
Really?
Really?
So.
That's a
okay.
letdown. Sorry, Sal. We have a question coming in from Jeff from Maine. He wants to know what your Christmas plans are.
My Christmas plans?
Yes.
So we usually, Christmas Eve, a new tradition for my family is to go to Texas Roadhouse.
Really?
Have a
Oh,
meal
okay.
at Texas Roadhouse. And then
Is that
Christmas.
open on Christmas Eve?
Yeah, yeah. Now they're not, I think they close at like, what,
5.
5, 6, somewhere in there.
7 maybe.
Yeah, somewhere in there. But we go to Texas Roadhouse for Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day, we go to my grandma's on my mom's side, to her place. We have breakfast there, or brunch, I guess you could say. And we open some presents, and it's just a fun time to be with.
That's awesome.
Okay.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, this question is from Israel77. They ask, "Can you name 5 books?"
5 books.
Just 5
Well,
books.
Give me any books.
any books.
I think they want you to exclude the Bible from it. Though.
Exclude-
So 5
okay.
books.
Well, let's see, 5 books. One I'm reading right now is called The Battle for Spain, and it's about the Spanish Civil War. I haven't finished it, but so far it's good. And for those who don't know, the Spanish Civil War, it's from 1936 to 1939, so it's right before World War II. It's seen as the precursor to World War II. And I know about the Spanish Civil War, I just haven't read a book on it, so this is my first time reading a book on it. And so far it's really good. Another book, I'm trying to think.
You're not doing good so far.
You're a teacher. by
I
the
know,
way.
I
No
know.
pressure. No
Got
pressure.
one.
Any book,
I
any book.
love The Great Gatsby.
The Great Gatsby.
Set in the 1920s. I think it's just well written. F. Scott Fitzgerald is a good writer. Another book that I have read that's very good is The Awakening. Now, I forgot the author's
Okay.
name.
Shall I look up the
But
author? Let us know.
it's set in 1899, and I think it was published in 1899. But it was a good book. I read it in college for American
I
literature
see a couple
class.
people
And
saying
so-
Kate Chapin potentially is the author.
Yeah,
Kate
that sounds
Chapin. Kate Chapin.
that sounds familiar. Yes, so
Thanks,
Chapin.
Chad.
Somebody said
Um,
it's their favorite book, so
But-
I'm
okay,
glad you shouted
awesome.
it out.
Sweet.
Good.
Shout out
so
Samantha
that's
in the
3.
chat, by the way.
Another book that I really like is. See, I read them and then I lose track of them. All Quiet on the Western Front.
Okay.
That
Okay.
book.
That's a good
Uh,
one.
One more. You just need one
one
more.
more?
You got
One
this.
Let's see here. One more would be The Battle Cry of Freedom by
Perfect.
Nice.
Battlefield
Good
Great
job,
Sweet.
Reagan.
yeah
Good job.
Hey,
McPherson. He's a Civil War
McPherson.
historian, so that was a good one.
Type
Alright.
one. Type one in the chat if you've read that book.
It's a thick book.
Yeah, no
It's a
ones.
thick book.
I'm
No
sorry.
ones,
not
sorry,
see
no
a one in
ones.
the chat. Oh, there's one.
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 Sweet.
One.
There's
All
another one
right,
out there.
here's the next question. Okay, we have from Jinxie Stan in the chat. He wants to know what your favorite translation of the Bible is. I know we touched on this earlier, but you might have been late to the video.
I think I said before the NIV is one I read a lot. I always try to find the one because I want something that's as direct a translation as possible. Now there's downsides of that. If you get a direct translation, it may not make as much sense. I know some translations they go for more what is the message? Yeah, the concept and the message rather than verbatim. What does it say? Because if it's verbatim, because it's Hebrew to English or Greek to English, it may not be as when you first read it, you're like, what does it even say? So, but I do try to get as accurate a translation as I possibly can because I want to know what was verbatim the word
Awesome.
used.
All right, next question's coming in from DJT. He asks, "What's your favorite heresy and why?"
So I guess this is like, what is the craziest thing you've heard?
Oh
that's
yeah,
like,
I think that's what I'm picking up. Like
I guess
craziest
that's what
like
you
biblical
said.
heresy you've ever heard somebody say. Like for
it's
example,
like
I heard
the
somebody the
biggest
other day
shock
say
factor.
it's obvious that Mary Magdalene is the Holy Spirit. Like that's the
Like
heresy,
that-
for
that was-
example, that I
that's
heard
crazy.
somebody say the other day.
What's the craziest thing you've heard? It's like obviously wrong, That's I think that's what he's asking.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, he says yeah. He said that's good. That's fine. And that's-
Okay.
Yeah.
So greatest heresy I would say is that not to. Well, I don't want to pick on anyone's religion. I'm not picking on anyone's religion, but I think it's the. I just want to put it.
Be careful with that around the mic.
Be careful though.
Make sure I get it and not puncture myself. Oh. Where'd that go? Oh, there we go.
Perfect. That's perfect.
There you go.
All right, next question is coming in from @CatholicSam in the chat. He asks, "Have you accepted Mary as your co-redeemer?"
Mary?
As your
Oh,
co-redeemer.
okay. So I think this is a like
Is
I think this is like
I
a
assume.
play on words from like, how people like Catholics venerate Mary.
Mhm.
I think it's like a. What would you say? Is it like a play on that? Or?
I'm not really too sure. Carson, do you got any input on this?
Mary the Co-Redeemer, I'd seen something written about this.
Oh, the Pope recently, the new
Oh, yeah,
Pope.
the Pope.
He made an announcement that Mary is not the co-redeemer. Like he rejected that title of her.
Okay.
So I think it's just like a little reference to that.
Okay.
I assume you haven't. I assume the answer is no, Sam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is what. Oh, it's your mom.
My
She
mom.
said, "Hi, honey. This is mommy. I'm really proud of how far you've come. Even though you didn't win any arguments today, you tried your best, and that's all that matters. Love, mommy. P.S. Rent is due soon."
That's the first time because she doesn't charge me rent. So
Well,
hopefully,
Maybe you don't
Well,
pay
it must be
rent.
the-
hopefully that's a joke.
Maybe it's
But-
rent due, like it's due now.
Maybe she's tired of me living at home and wants me to move out.
Hi, Miss Reagan. How are you?
Hey, Mom.
Okay. And then, what do we have there, Carson?
So this is just a little piece from I assume it was fan mail. This was from Johnny Cash. So he's very familiar with this instrument. He wanted me to give this to Reagan. Now I will say, if I'm being completely transparent, I'm not an expert on this instrument, but I figured Reagan would accept it. I assume that hand wave was I'll take it later. I'm not sure he wanted it right now, but if you just give Johnny Cash a thank you, maybe give it a hold. But this is an antique. This is going to be a second generation saxophone. This was from Civil War time period. This is not something you see every day. And we know he knew he was a history buff. He had an extra one. He figured he'd let you know, but just offer it. What would you say? What's special about this to you?
Well, I think it's antiqueness.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of antiques. I like old stuff. So yeah, I think that's the main thing that it's about going for. Now, I'm not a expert on instruments. I don't play instruments as much as I
Will
should.
you check the chat?
As much as I should, yes.
Ask Johnny if it's playable. If this is something that he could play for us really quick.
Let me see. He said, "Don't bother right now."
Okay.
Okay.
But again, yeah, just a couple words from maybe Johnny Cash. Let Johnny know what you think of his gift.
Well, I think it's very nice, and I thank you for it. And I think maybe one day I'll learn how to play it.
Absolutely. So yeah, big shout out to
Thank you.
Thank
to
you,
Johnny.
Chat.
Thank you, Johnny.
All right, we have
For
one
sure.
final question in the chat before we end today.
All right.
That comes from @debt collector. He asks, "When are you gonna pay up, little bro?" All right. I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching our inaugural podcast. Everybody, please spam W Reagan in the chat, W Reagan in the comments. If you made it this far, comment, I love Dr. Reagan.
So again, guys, thank you again for your support. To our sponsors, again, thank you so much for reaching out to just being so generous. I mean, you've been treating our guests very well. Again, this is Cooper Barrier, Aiden Sanders, Carson Davis.
And our special guest, Dylan Reagan.
Again, we are your NC Foodie Boys, and this is our first ever guest on our podcast. So again, thank you so much for our guest,
Thank
Dylan
you
Reagan.
for having me.
Any inspiring words for the viewers out there that maybe are pursuing a degree in education, that are pursuing history in the Civil War, ultimately have that same intention that you do?
Well, you're going to probably get a lot of pushback when you're told that you want to become a teacher, but if you feel in your heart that you're wanting to become a teacher, just keep going. Don't let anyone discourage you. Don't let people discourage you. Don't let government actions discourage you or anything like that. So yeah.
And then one more thing, what would be one life choice that you had wish you had not taken and ultimately would encourage other people not to do as inspiring words?
Life choice. I can't really think of any life choices that I regret. And the one thing, it's not that I regret it, but I think I didn't go for as many scholarships as I probably should have at the beginning. Because I don't want to say I regret going to High Point University, because I don't, even though it was expensive for that. But I think that, just go for as many scholarships as you possibly can to cut down on the costs of any college that you want to go to.
Wise words.
Thank you, Ray.
Right.
That was from the heart.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you guys so much again. This is the NC Foodie Boys. Tune in for the next podcast coming to you soon. Thank you much. Peace.